Greetings and salutations, it's Quiz again, and we're going to play some more Pokemon Unite. This time we're going to play as Greedent. But, I'm also going to, well, before I get into a battle, I want to do some chatting about, let's see, the Pokemon that I think need buffs and nerfs, okay? So, first off, I explained it in a previous episode, I think Ho-Oh is completely balanced. 100% completely balanced. Venusaur's fine. Charizard's fine. He needs a little work. Blastoise needs just a little bit of something. Maybe make his water spout slow him down more. Maybe make his water spout do something else or have a bigger area. Yeah, you can use the, what is it, Hydro Pump? I think it's Hydro Pump. Yeah, Hydro Pump is normally what people use, but like, water spout's good, it just needs either a little bit more damage, or just a bigger area, something. It needs a little oomph. Perfectly fine, this electric rat dominates. Perfectly fine, don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch Slowbro. Dodrio could use a little HP. That's it. Just increase the base HP of Dodrio a smidge, and it's good. Fine, it's fine, don't touch it. This one needs a rework, okay? So, Block is fine, Heavy Slam is fine, Flail is fine in the regards of, like, yeah, you don't really want to run Flail. Yawn is also very viable, it puts people to sleep, but if you can master Block and Heavy Slam, he's fine. I just think he needs that rest ability instead of Yawn, or instead of Flail. So you get to choose either Heavy Slam or Yawn, or Heavy Slam or Rest, and then Block or Yawn, or just, he needs something, or use Snore. Rest and Snore. While he's resting, you can cast Snore and it does damage. That would be an interesting set for him, because his rest ability is really good in the beginning, and then it just he kind of loses durability later in the game. I think he's in a comfortable spot with initiation and pushing people around, but I think he needs a little rework, just a touch. It needs help. This is how I think that they could fix Azumarill. This right here. When it's hitting an single opposing Pokemon with a basic attack, it's always a critical hit. This is how I think they need to change it. They need to take out this second line. When hitting two or more opposing Pokemon at once with a basic attack or move, its hits are never critical hits. They need to take that line out and then say its crits are cut down to 1/4, or its crits are cut down to half. Something to, like, or it crits but only 50% damage. So the crits still exist, but you're curtailing the damage so that he's not overly powerful in team fights. He needs a little something for team fights because he's not there, right? For ganking and picking off opponents, primo, he does great, no problems, right? However, once you have more than one person, usually if the enemy team sees an Azumarill, they'll just group up. And it kind of needs help. He's fine, don't worry about it. Fine, don't worry about it. Also fine. Absol is fine. Needs a little bit more HP, but not too much. Garchomp's fine. Crustl's fine, but I think that Shell Smash really needs another component. Like, yes, it lowers your defense, it gives you speed, it gives you attack. Okay. Give something to pair with it. Like, if you use another, like what's it called? Stealth Rock with Shell Smash, the Stealth Rock does more damage. Not that a lot of people do that, but just something. Give it a little oomph. I mean, Crustl's better as a defender, pushing people around and blocking them off. I mean, other than that, he's fine. I think Shell Smash could use a little bit of a rework. Because Shell Smash just comes off as a little weak, makes him too frail. Delphox is way more than fine. Delphox is overpowered. It needs to have some damage dialed back a little. When they fixed its early damage, it was fine. Like, early in the game, they fixed his damage, before he evolves. Beautiful. They needed that because his early damage was just woefully inadequate. But the later damage is way too high. It needs to be dialed back a bit. When it comes to Greninja, okay, now, so this is just kind of lame, right? Because Greninja doesn't have the health pool to really warrant this. They need to take this and change it. Make it Protean, or whatever. Make it so that it's like, if more than one attack hits in a row, its damage increases. Which would help out with Water Shuriken, it would help out with Surf, and Double Team's okay. I mean, there's a lot of people that do Double Team Water Shuriken, but I don't really care for Double Team Water Shuriken. The reason being is because, yeah, you can Double Team. But if you miss your Water Shuriken, you're just wasting your time. Meanwhile, you can Smoke Screen, Surf in, and be an actual ninja, and then, or you Surf in, hit him, and then Smoke Screen out. It's a really stealthy ninja move. Water Burst Shuriken, I think, needs a mild rework, in my estimation. It needs to make him, what's the word I'm looking for? Not unblockable, but, you can't interact with him. He needs to be unstoppable for the time he's jumping up and casting the Shuriken. Multiple times have I jumped up to cast the Shuriken and I'm dead in midair, and then it resets and I lose like 13 seconds off the timer, or 13% or whatever, and then I gotta build that percent back up to then use it again, but then I die in the air again. He honestly just needs a rework. Make him unstoppable before he launches it so that it's a guaranteed hit. It's kind of like Machamp's submission. Machamp's submission, he can miss the submission grasp. And when he misses that grab with submission, it's just gut-wrenching. That needs to change. Other than that, he's okay damage-wise. Perfectly fine. No issues with Talonflame. No issues here. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Could use a little work. I noticed that her usage metrics are down. Instead of going to get 3 attacks to get the second stomp or something like that, it should only require 2. So instead of 3, it requires 2. So after you use one ability, you can get a double stomp. I think you could kind of dial down the damage a little, put it so that she only needs 2 usages of an ability to get that extra damage. You're golden. He's fine. Also fine. Greedent needs a minor adjustment to Covet. Covet makes him run way too fast, and then he's spinning out all over the place. Definitely needs a little bit of adjustment with Covet, because he needs to be able to turn quicker with Covet in order to be effective, or super effective with it. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Needs a little bit of HP. Other than that, perfectly fine. He's fine. No issues with Wigglytuff. This thing needs an absolute nerf bat to the skull. Leaf Blade. I think it's Leaf Blade. No, Solar Blade, sorry. Solar Blade. Solar Blade is way too strong. Way too strong. And people say, wow, what do you mean? Yes, you have to charge it up. But you can just... I watched a Leafeon Solar Blade from the woods and take somebody down to just a sliver of health, only to then dash out with either Aerial Ace, I believe it was Aerial Ace, or Leaf Blade. They're both dashes. This is ridiculous. I mean, his health is perfectly fine where it is. He's very frail, but if you can plan your attack, he's incredibly too strong in the early game. Pushes evolution to a higher level to give people that chance to actually fight back. Because if he gets to Leafeon by 4 or 5, you're pretty much dead. you can win the early lane phase, no problem. And it can end up carrying the game. It's kind of broken. It needs to be looked at. Big time. He's fine. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine now that they reduced the self-healing on Bullet Punch a little bit. Kind of absurd. Needs to be looked at. Once it evolves to Gyarados, it gets way too powerful. It could dial back a little bit of the damage or dial back a little bit of the health. Not too far, because, I mean, he still is in that can die, but is hard to kill. Perfectly fine, no issues there. Way too powerful when it gets going. Just like with Tyranitar, way too strong. They need to dial it back a bit. I mean, dial it back. No problems with the Mewtwo's. No problems with Mew. Espeon's a little absurd with its little get 5 of the... I don't know what it's called. You get them over your head, and then you... let's see. It says its ability changes when it... Magic Balance. Yeah, the hindrance is negated. Yeah. Stored power, I believe it is. This is the one that makes him, let's see, less second power, stored power, nope. Psyshock. Psyshock is ridiculous. I don't think that Psyshock needs to have, what's it called? Incapacitate. Let Psyshock have its damage, I don't care. But the fact that when you get hit with it, it makes you incapacitated for a second, it's absurd. It's broken, and it needs to be removed. Pathetic. Needs to be buffed. Not in the damage, not in the health, those are fine. It just needs something. It's too frail. It's too weak. Every single Umbreon I run into, I'm like, it's just an Umbreon, I don't care. I've never met an Umbreon where I'm like, oh boy, they're playing Umbreon, I should watch out. Weak. Right along with Dragonite, way too strong in the late game, way too weak in the early game. Level it off. Don't make it like parabolic death machine. Nice level gradient all the way through. It'd be great. Perfectly fine. Perfectly fine. Needs help. Honestly needs help. I've played with multiple Lucarios, and I think maybe 1 out of 30 will actually play it well. It's just something about it that's not there. It's not good. It's just kind of... This annoying thing. Let me get there. I believe it's this one. I believe it's Ice Spear. Yeah, that's the Sure Hit. That needs to be removed from Sure Hit. It make it a skill shot. Take away the Sure Hit, turn it into a skill shot, we're fine. Because as a Sure Hit, it's like, oh, I've got 7 shards. And you're dead. And you can't escape them. You can't do anything about it. The only thing you can do is put someone else in between you and the shards. It's busted. Needs to be reworked. Zoroark's fine. No problems there. Chandelure does too much damage in the early game. Way too much. And I know exactly what move it is that does way too much damage, and it needs to be looked at. Oh, that's exactly why. The Infiltrator is what makes it hit so hard. Right there. The overheat is absolutely busted. Absolutely busted. I'm okay with Sylveon. They actually nerfed it recently. I was going to say it was kind of broken before. It's been nerfed slightly, so I'm okay with it. Goodra needs to be better adjusted so that it's not everybody picking the, oh, I get my health back. No, have the shield option be a little bit better. That's it. Other than that, its durability's there, its damage is there. It can get a little annoying. Not a fan of it. Needs help. I don't see hardly anybody playing Hoopa unless you're trying to play the position game. But most of her abilities are just kind of lackluster, for lack of a better term. I mean, you can move berries, okay. These don't really help all that much, to be honest with you. Like, Using a ring, increasing both their movement speeds for each time. Like, that's fine. I guess Trick is great, but, like, Hoopa seems kind of weak. Just needs to be looked at and adjusted. Comfy's fine. Now, I have a problem with this. I have a problem with Mimikyu. And it's Shadow Claw. I have a problem with the amount of damage it does. It does way too much damage, way too early. At level 5, this thing becomes an absolute menace. And it's not right. And that's number 1. The rest of this, like, whatever. Shadow Sneak should not allow you to teleport to the person, right? Yeah. So, Shadow Sneak should not allow you to teleport to the person. But this thing right here, Unite Move, Play With Me. I don't care the fact that it grasps you and hits you or whatever. I was playing Machamp. I used Submission. It says Unstoppable right on my name. This can grab me during Unstoppable. Why? It's a move that imposes its will upon you. It stops you from moving. I'm unstoppable. Why does that work? Same way with Charizard. He shouldn't do Seismic Slam. Seismic Toss. Shouldn't be able to. Buzzwole's fine. He's fine. Does a little bit too much damage for my tastes, but I'll let it slide because he's kind of frail now. He's fine. There was a long time he was a menace, but he's fine now. He's fine. Nerf. Needs a nerf. Big nerf. The damage, the burst damage on this thing is way too high. And you could just be sitting there, and then all of a sudden it jumps out of the grass, kills 3 people, and then runs away, and you can't catch up to it because it uses that Mirage. I think it's what, Double Team? Double Team, yeah. Double Team. It's just absolutely busted. And they need to take away the damage on this thing. Like, I don't care if they gave it the self-healing. Curtail some of the damage on it. It's broken. But now that I've given out all of my adjustments and everything, I'll get into the game. This one's going to be a little bit of a longer episode, but I'm going to play Greedent. And we're going to get greedy with him. Now, most people don't play Greedent like I do. I play Greedent in a more of a kind of like a support bully role. It's kind of weird. Because you can bully a lot of people with Greedent. My neck was kind of hurting there. So, I don't need that. I want to play Greedent. There we go. Now, the reason I like playing Greedent is I like doing Stuffed Cheeks and Belch. Most people do Covet, Belch. Most people, and then other people do Stuffed Cheeks, Seed, Bullet Seed. I think Bullet Seed needs to be reworked, and I just don't like it. I don't care for it. It functions a lot like Flamethrower, but it's like a worse version of Flamethrower. But the thing about Greedent is, early in the game, he can bully people in the lane. Especially if you go with Defense Curl as your first move. Now, with me just saying that, I can already hear it. People are going to go, wait a minute, why Defense Curl as the first move? Because when you pick up Defense Curl as the first move, this is going to be a very bad game for Greedent, by the way. Self-healing on the Caesar, Ninetales range, Chandelier range, Serena, okay, whatever. Ho-Oh, burning and doing a DOT. That's a lot of burn and a lot of freeze. It's likely to go bad. But back to why I picked Defense Curl. Because by the time you pick Defense Curl, and you do everything you need to do, you can actually pick up all of your berries. And when you get 5 berries and you go to do Tackle, your Tackle immediately refreshes because you have 5 berries. And then you can come over here and just be like, oh, well, done. I didn't need it. But you can come over here and just... See? That's why I love Greedent right there. Because while he's still a Squovit, he can just, like I said, he can just push people around and harass them. And I run leftovers on him so that I don't have to worry about it. I don't have to worry about anything because I can just get the healing from the leftovers. Thing. Greedent's very bulky. Like, he's very, very bulky. Most people don't give Greedent any credit. And they really should. Because, I mean, I have the self-healing. I'm not worried about it. I can just throw the stuff out there I need to. When I get stuffed cheeks, it gets even more just absolutely abrasive and abusive to the enemy. We grab the stuffed cheeks, and we gain all of our berries at once. And you just do that right there, and you're back out. Like I said, he's very abrasive. And you can give out health like that to your allies. It's not a lot, but it does work. Now see, they shouldn't have been able to see me, but apparently they could. Which makes no sense. I mean, he should be able to pick up a double kill right there. Yeah. But like that's the power of Greedent right there. Like to be able to push people around, to be able to just kind of enforce your will upon the opponent. And now that I have Belch, I can do even more damage. So it's gonna be great. Not today, dirtbag. See ya. Like I said, like Greedent is just so good. He's so good at what he does. He's just bulky, he's good at survival, and then once you get your Unite move, it just gets even better. And it's all based on stuff cheeks. Now, like I said, a lot of people like to do Covet. Covet's okay. I don't really care for it as a move. But, you know, it is what it is. And of course, Score Shield. Give me more health. Score Shield and Chaos Cookie. And the reason I kind of go with the health stack on Greedent is because his health being a little bit low, that's kind of one of his drawbacks. Yes, he's got a fair amount of durability, but at the same time, he doesn't. So, you know, he kind of needs that little boost. Okay, that Scyther hits hard. That's okay. I mean, we're winning the game pretty handily. And that's all that matters. Like, Greedent's job is to go in, initiate, push people around, get them out of the lane. That's kind of just what his job is. It's hold the tail. Just like with any other tank. I mean, tanks are supposed to create space. They're supposed to initiate on a fight. Like, they shouldn't be fighting that fight right now. It's not a good fight to fight. Yeah, well, I'm not going to let them have the... They can take that, but they're not going to get the goal. I'm going to prevent that as much as humanly possible. And he's dead. That was not good. That was not where I wanted it to be. Now, as you may notice, I'm positioning myself very precariously. Is it the best place to be right now? It's not the worst, but it's also not the best. That's the most admirable position I could be in right there. Like, there does way too much damage. Don't go after him. What are you guys doing? Get back in mid. You're not gonna get that in time. Okay, you got that one. I'm surprised. I mean, he barely edged that out. But again, you know, you just gotta go in there, kind of make space, push people around. That's it. You know, we might not even kill Rayquaza in this game. And you just kind of give them that little support. You know what I mean? Yeah, Pikachu's got to get up there. Does it say kill it? Now, I didn't score a whole lot this game. But you'll see what I'm talking about with the amount of damage I absorbed, the amount of stuff I dealt with. Like, I took a lot of damage and I had pretty high recovery. Again, I didn't have a whole lot of, like, action in terms of getting kills or doing what I needed to do, but it's Greedent. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna soak damage and recover. That's your job. You soak damage and recover. You know, be in the team fights, throw the berries out for people. It's kind of what you do. And it's the preferred build that I do, is Stuffed Cheeks and Belch. And a lot of people don't like it. I mean, a lot of people prefer using Covet. I think the reason why they like Covet is because it gives you that movement speed. Oh boy, I got another one of those. Another 88 of those things. Tickets. Hollowware tickets. That's something else that I'm going to mention while we're getting into a game here. They need to take it so that the purple tickets you get, or not the purple tickets, sorry, the fashion tickets. They need to bring out more fashion exchange tickets, because I have 1,100 of them, or allow you to sell them for AOS coins, or something. Trade them for another Pokemon, or trade them for other things, even if it's, I don't know, even if it's piddly items, item enhancers, just like put an exchange rate in. That and Hollowware. Take some of the Hollowwares that you've got that are not like money only purchases, but like other Hollowwares that come out that are not, you know, big Hollowwares of exclusive and the background changes and everything, and put those available for purchasing for Hollowware tickets. Just make them expensive, like 300 Hollowware tickets. Bring out more clothing options and have those for fashion tickets. I don't care, just something, because I'm gonna run out of Hollowware tickets and I'm gonna run out of clothing purchases. I'm gonna be sitting there going, okay, I've already ran out of clothing purchases. I can't do anything else with the fashion tickets. Those I'm full. I'm full up on all the fashion tickets. What am I gonna do? I'm just gonna stand around with my thumb in my nose, just with them. I have 1,100 of them, and I just can't do anything with it. The Hollowware tickets are just as bad. So I don't know. They need to really revise the system. Now I get up here to level 3. And now I have tackle. Now it's time to be a bully. Get the bug out of my eyes. Wow, he hits really hard. See, that right there is all you need to do. Like, yeah, that's not good. The Gengar fed too hard. Like, he should not have stayed in there and fought against the Combuskin. Yeah, you're dead, dude. Yep, top just got cooked hard. Yeah, it's over. It's pretty much over this game. Top's completely destroyed. Mid is not doing too well. I need farm, and I can't get any right now. Do not come mid. I need help. I mean, I'm only at 4. I don't know what they want from me right now. I'm underleveled because... Easy shot. Cool. Oh, that's not good. It's over. We've lost top and bottom. This game is officially done. At the 5-minute mark, I am going to call for a concession. Nobody's going to actually accept it, though. I mean, they're invading our jungle right now. They've got us out-leveled. Blaziken is literally just going to come in and just two-shot everybody. They've got us way out-leveled. Yeah, it's coming up, the 5-minute mark. And they're gonna say, "Oh, well, we got the chance, we can make it." And the reason they're gonna say that is because I didn't even have to call the concede vote. Other people did. If they were smart, they would concede it for sure. Oh, failed. I mean, they're just absolutely rolling us at this point. And you want to know where it failed? I can tell you exactly where it failed. Come on, folks. Come on, just call it. You can't just win because of Tyranitar. That's not how it works. We can't just put everything behind Tyranitar and win. That's another reason. I found the 2 reasons why we lost before we even lost. The 2 reasons we lost, if you can pick them out, you probably can, was up top when the Gengar decided to just go full face in their point against the Blaziken before it was a Blaziken. And when he died and it became a Combusken and it was a 6, it cost us the game. Right at that very moment. That was the defining moment that it cost us the game. The second time we lost it, yeah. See, it's over. Like, Whatever, dude. Just... whatever. I don't care. I knew it was over. Like, that right there is a perfect example of how failing the laning phase and then immediately failing the team fight phase causes you to lose the game. It's a cascade effect. And it... Team was a joke. 93,000 damage taken, 27,000 recovered. I did more damage than the Gengar. Again, never have Gengar mid. If you see your Gengar going mid, punish them. Hit them with a stick, and then rub their nose, like, in their thought of going mid. You know, just take a stick and you hit them. You tell them no. It's a bad idea. Oh, and the other reason we lost is right there. Mr. I'm gonna go, you know, what's it called? Sludge Bomb. I had to think of the name. I'm gonna go Sludge Bomb into Solar Beam. Congratulations, you've just picked the weakest Venusaur archetype. That archetype only works for Venusaur if you have a front line that can defend you. That game we didn't have a front line that could defend you because Blaziken was just diving to the back line and absolutely slaughtering you. And everyone around you and everyone that looked like you. So... like, sorry folks. Sorry not sorry, but I'm gonna tell you exactly how it is. But that's how we lost that game. It seems really, you know, ridiculous that, like, that's what cost you the game, but it honestly was. But that's going to do it for me in this time around. I hope you had fun of my little chats of the amount of damage and everything they do, and what I think needs buffed, what I think needs nerfed. I will be back recording But Will It Snipe soon. But I enjoyed it. I had fun. Even when I lost, I had fun. I still think that Gengar got too greedy. And he should have just backed out when he had the chance. Like, if he had backed out of that confrontation top, we probably would have won it. Because we had them on the ropes, and it was just that my teammate died, so Chandelier died, Gengar died, I died. And by the time that all happened, it was Torchic became a Combuskin, and then Slowpoke became a Slowbro, so they had Surf, and they had Blaziken's ability. It was over at that point. It was completely just 100% cooked. Not a chance of coming back from that one. No way of pulling it back. I mean, if you... These bugs are killing me. And if you take a look at my battle record, we'll go with the filter, rank match of the current season. I have almost a 60% win rate. I've only done 40 battles. My average score is 74. But when you see my, you see what I'm playing up at the top as my favorites, you don't score a whole lot with Mr. Mime. You don't score a whole lot with Trevenant. You just, one's a support and the other's a tank, so you don't really do that well. And I've had, some tough games. A little bit of tough sledding here and there. And I've noticed something, and I'm going to say this right before I leave. Right before I sign off. I've noticed that when you get up to Ultra 3, you won't see it when you're going from, Ultra, or from, Veteran to Ultra, right? Ultra, Veteran, whatever, to Ultra 3. You won't see any of it. Because I went on a winning spree from, Veteran all the way up through Ultra 5, all the way through Ultra 4. Ultra 3 rolls around, and I get a bunch of people that's like it's like baby's first MOBA, and they don't know what they're doing. They don't know anything about team fighting. They don't know anything about objectives. They don't know anything about laning phase. They don't know anything about getting a farm. They don't know anything about letting your attackers and other people, if you're a support, letting those attackers get the kills. They don't know anything about any of that. And we just get absolutely trounced. And it's like, how did you guys make it to Ultra 3? Did you have like a group of 3 friends carry you? Do you have to get them chiropractic appointments because they threw their back out carrying you? And that's exactly how it felt when I got to Ultra 3. I felt that way last season too. So there's something about Ultra 3 when you really just start getting those people that look at you like a boat anchor, and they're just like, hey, you're gonna carry me, right? Right? That's the plan. And then they go and play something that's completely off the wall and zany, and they play it poorly. Like that Gengar. Or when I played Ho-Oh, who was that guy in the Ho-Oh game that played poorly? I can't even remember. But I said in that video that's the reason there needs to be a block. You need to be able to block bad teammates and be like, look, this guy was awful. Here's the reason why he was awful. Do not recommend to play with him again. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down thing on it, right? Just give me a option to thumbs down players on my team and say, this guy didn't play very well, here's the reason. Not like report him so that he can't play, it's just, he just doesn't end up in my queue anymore. It'd save everybody a whole lot of stress. But, I hope everybody had a fantastic evening, I hope everybody had fun. Have a fantastic evening, a wonderful tomorrow, or a wonderful evening, and a fantastic tomorrow. Either way. But as always, have a good one.